Crypto news analysis here. It is February 15th. And before I get into the video, please read the disclaimer below on the shilling of the token stake. But let's talk about the price action. So Bitcoin here pretty much going sideways and nothing really that insane to say. So I was drawing some lines earlier of what could happen. So what's actually kind of good about Bitcoin is that so there was the news of the tariffs and it went to 94K. And if it was actually that weak, it would have gone lower, right? If we zoom out on Bitcoin, it's been down only in the last 2 weeks or so. Pretty choppy price action here. But what it seems to be doing is that it's actually compressing a bit for perhaps a squeeze higher. I'm a bit biased for that. I mean, if you just look at the market structure, if you look at it, how it's just been sideways like this, and it's been getting so fucked with all the news lately, and yet it didn't go that much lower, is quite a good sign. And if you also look at Bitcoin, however, like that doesn't mean that it won't go down. If it does go down and breaks down from here, then it'll tap this 90K zone, 89, and then we can see some sort of price action like that. But if not like that, then what I actually expect in the coming days or so is actually a squeeze higher for 102K here, which is a bit of a local resistance. And then it's actually going to, might actually go back down here because everyone's be like, oh my gosh, we're so back. But that might actually be the case because when everyone, because this market's been extremely emotional so far, but I mean, the market's always emotional, but everyone's going to think we're so back in here, like all the altcoins will be up. But then because of that, most likely it's going to return to this level here, 96. But then we could start going a little higher, right? Because there's always the retest before the huge rally. And yeah, I'm currently biased for a squeeze higher, quite bullish actually on Bitcoin in the short term. But if that's not the case, then it could go lower, right? But everything else, pretty much similar price action to sideways. And let's look at the liquidation heat map as well. So pretty much compressing in this range here. There's actually, as you guys can see, there's a lot more liquidity stacked on the upper side, which is really good. That means there's a lot more shorts open right now. And as a result of that, then you know where the liquidation heat maps go, where they usually magnet themselves to the places of the hottest liquidity. So the fact that there's more liquidity stacked on the upside is a very bullish thing, and everyone's trying to think that it wants to go lower and all that shit. So this is quite good. I'm actually bullish in the short term for this. And if we look at the price action of the alts, so AUDIC is probably, as you can see, AUDIC and SNI, probably the most important ones. Everything is pretty much pulling back right now because of the Libra event, where the president of Argentina made a meme coin. Everyone's aping their life savings quite literally. They're selling their other coins to chase this, and it's really rug to zero. So this is pretty bad overall for the market because of the liquidity extraction. But a lot of coins are a nice discount to the result. So I recently picked up AUDIC because this one was so strong. And if Bitcoin actually squeezes higher, as I would think it does, then this is actually going to also pump like maybe 2-3x if I were to believe so. Okay, maybe not 3x, but 2x to 400 mil-ish, sure. But that's just my current prediction. I like this AUDIC coin out of all of them. SNI is also pretty good too, but I decided to focus on ARC here since it's actually at a decent dip in relative wise. Like I think it's pretty oversold here personally, but yeah, if we look at the base AI coins as well, so virtuals, just going sideways, nothing really too exciting. The day is actually down a lot too from the tops. So this one's actually used to be one of the strongest ones, and now it's a little weaker. And I think it will still be strong again, but the sideways price action might have to continue for a bit before it doesn't up only rally again. And I think this easily is a very good project that could go back to all-time highs. But a lot of projects are pretty much down on the day because of the liquidity extraction from the one coin. If we look at the base memes are actually holding up pretty well. KeyCat, not really. I mean, Keegan didn't really even fucking move that much anyway, so he's kind of just chilling here. And that's very nice strength, I guess, relatively. Doshi as well, pretty much not really that much. So a lot of base meme coins not really moving that much. Dogami is a little stronger on the day. Miggles is also pretty strong. And if we look at Solana memes, though, Solana memes are actually pulling back because it seems they were pumping on Friday. So PopCap, for example, everyone's like, oh my god, we're so back. But then it's going back to zone. I think it will go a little lower until Sunday. And the Sunday's probably, I'm going to say, is the bottom on a lot of things. But I think AI is still going to be a bigger bouncer, especially since even with this price action, Article was one of the strongest ones where it literally did a 3x from the bottoms, even though like it's just insane, bro. AI is currently what I'm focusing on, and base meme coins. There's also a base AI, but I think Solana is actually stronger in the short term. So I'm looking at that one now. But let's look at the Cookie Duffin dashboard. So market cap wise, still like just nothing too crazy. As you guys can see, well, AUDIC is getting some mindshare here, even as a Solana infrastructure. But let's look at the tweets. So let's look at this word. This is Julian Be. He got a present to promote his 4 billion token that he rugged for $87 million. This is the untold story of his rise and fall. So I'm going to show you guys this story about the Libra token, and it's like a lot of people, they lost their life savings on this. And personally, like when I made the video yesterday about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna be touching this. I made the right call because that pretty much just dumped down 99% ever since I saw it. I was like, yeah, I don't really recommend touching this. It's probably not a good thing to do here. But essentially, that was what was going on with the token here. And let's look at the rest of the story, where Julian got into crypto back in 2016. He bought some Bitcoin and ETH. In 2021, he flipped NFTs during the mania, but the real game came 2024. That's when he saw his shots. So Julian met Mide, president of Agenta, at a tech forum in Buenos Aires. He spoke about AI, small businesses, the future. Mide was impressed. A handshake, a photo, a promise. Julian had just secured something dangerous. So he got some networking done with the president of Argentina. And then months later, KIP, Juan's company, joined Buenos Aires blockchain committee. It looked official. Suddenly, Julian wasn't just another crypto founder. He was advising the government. That's when the real plan begins. He pitched Mide a grand idea, a national token to support small businesses, a new economic era, a financial revolution. Mide bought in. The dollar was now wide open. So they launched it. First post came from Mire's official X account. The world wants to invest in Argentina. The message was clear. People saw it as an official coin. Yeah, so he made the tweet about it. He's like, Viva la libertad, carajo. Libra. La Argentina Libra crece. Este proyecto privado se dedicará a the... Okay, what the fuck am I saying, bro? Yeah, but he made this, right? And FOMO hit. Millions poured in. A 400 billion or 4 billion market cap in 1 hour. People weren't just buying the token. They just thought they were investing in a developing country. Then the cracks appeared. Something was off. The token wasn't locked. Bubble maps were showing 82% of supply controlled by a single cluster. It was a trap, and the walls are closing in. Yeah, bubble maps, as you guys can see, a lot of supply is centralized there. Panic started to spread, whispers turned into warnings, and then insiders started dumping. $87 million rugged in hours. The price was crumbling, but the worst was yet to come. People begged for answers. Who was selling? Where was the money going? Then Mide deleted his tweet. The entire illusion shattered in an instant. The token collapsed. A 4 billion dream turned into ashes. Retail investors lost everything. Julian bet and his insiders, they walked away with almost $100 million. Wow. A government-backed token, a 4 billion scam, an $87 million heist, the biggest political rug pull in history, and no one was held accountable yet. Let me know what you think in the replies, and if you don't want stories, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So this actually seemed to be one of the largest liquidity abstractions in a really long time. And the thing is that we've been getting fucked with these pretty much week by week. Like first it was with the Trump coin, and yeah, that sucked for the meme coins. It was just a huge liquidity extraction. And then after that, like if it was just Trump, it would have been fine. But then he dropped fucking Melania, which is absolutely even worse for the markets. And then it's just the markets are getting hit with this back and forth bullshit, right? And now there were some random stragglers here, like the TST token and the broccoli coin and the car coin, and then now this coin here, which is even fucking more insane. So what this means is that, okay, obviously this is bearish for the market in terms of liquidity, where a lot of liquidity is getting extracted and being pocketed into centralized entities, which means that there's less liquidity to go around to pump pretty much every coin in existence. But what I would actually give as a bull case for this is that if you look at Bitcoin, even though we've been getting these horrible things for the market, honestly, like so much liquidity is getting extracted, Bitcoin is still holding up pretty well, which is why I'm supporting the bullish case for why it'll squeeze a little higher in the short term. And okay, it's not really good for Solana memes, of course, because a lot of this is happening on Solana. So a lot of these coins on Solana, they shouldn't have pulled back this deeply, because maybe, like I was thinking, like PopCap, for example, it should have held this wedge here, but because of all the bullshit, it's now down here in utter hell. I mean, that is actually good, because for long term, it's very good in opportunities, because it eventually will go back up here. But the fact is that there's less liquidity rotating around. People sell their coins to chase these new narratives, which is why a lot of coins are down. Like even really strong ones on Solana AI, Audic, for example, is down because of that. So that is kind of bearish. But in any case, I'm not really too sure, besides the fact that this is really, really bad for Solana, at least, because it just ruins the reputation, where it just has all these rugs by entire fucking countries now. So the country of Argentina has a bad reputation because of this rug pull. So I don't know. Eventually, there's going to be a point, most likely, where regulations could step in at a point. Maybe you see Solana. I mean, obviously, that would be good for less rug pulls to happen, but the regulation aspect honestly, at this point, it would be such a bullish thing to happen in Solana if some regulatory force came in and started regulating these coin launches by countries. Then the risk appetite obviously might come back and more liquidity can flow into the Solana meme coins. But at the end of the day, this regulation aspect is also what makes Solana so good in the first place. I would like to argue because it is the casino, right? If you add this regulation, there's less liquidity, less reason for people to have Solana to ape into these new coins, right? Because you could also argue that pump fund also gives a lot of value to Solana, right? It's the casino. And if you regulate that, then there's less incentive for liquidity to go there, I suppose. But it'll be good for at least, I guess, the established meme coins, but how could you give the argument that the liquidity will flow there? It could also flow to currently where it's AI. Even despite all this bullshit, AI is still cash and bid, so which is why I'm bullish on AI. But let's look at this where I lost it all my Trump profits, all my shitcoin profits, and I'm fucking pissed, bro. I was up literally millions on Libra, and I just started to crash out of nowhere, and I kept DCing until I was out of money at 2 billion. I really have nothing compared to what I was worth. It sucks, bro, but I've been grinding for years just to lose like this. Don't know what to think or even feel right now. Yeah, a lot of people, they lost everything on this Libra coin. Like, I really hope none of you guys lost money on this. Like, personally, when I saw it and I made the video, I was like, yeah, I'm not touching this shit, but sucks, dude. But let's look at this where 5 rug pulls in a month. U.S. President Donald Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Binance founder CZTSD, African Republic President Gar, Argentina President Libra. Crazy. Yeah, not really the best month for Solana trenchers, I would say. I mean, Trump was probably the first PvE narrative, and then Melania, I guess you could play it. Like, personally, I played Melania. I was late to Trump, but Melania, I played it, and it went okay for me. But the other 3, I just knew, like, what the fuck, bro? But at a point, I think these narratives will just get more and more exhausted, and more liquidity will be extracted from the markets, which means that they're going to get even less pumped. So eventually, this narrative will die out. And who knows what's going to replace that narrative? I'm still betting on AI personally, but let's look at this where he just went ahead and openly admitted it. So Frank the Gaz, this crypto Twitter influencer, says, I do use my copy trades as exit liquidity whenever I get bored. It's fun. Honestly, I'm an insider. Yeah, so all these big accounts, they literally do all of this stuff about insider trading, and a lot of these people don't actually have the skill to trade around the markets to make their money. They have to buy in early and then dump other people, which is why it's always easier to be early than to try to do all the TA. So yeah, a lot of these people just get absolutely destroyed by these crypto Twitter influencers. You got to realize they're not your friends. They want you as your exit liquidity. They want you to be their exit liquidity and make money off you. It's pretty extractive, but let's look at this word. Can someone explain to me how meme coins are anything other than for gambling? The epitome of financial nihilism. I see cope about memes creating a PvE environment, but I'll urge anyone who's saying this to explain how this will ever play out. Every buyer is putting money in with the intention of taking more money out down the line. If not, then there's a traditional corporate entity set up for this already. It's called a charity. Here's the issue of meme coins. There's no fundamental value creation for everyone to win. No coin will go up, only honeypots excluded, and even if it did, why are holders not selling? What other non-monetary value are they receiving for holding? There has to be a product or a service with real revenues for an initial capital injection to grow. Otherwise, this is a Ponzi. New buyers being dumped on by earlier bound buyers. Yep, everything is a Ponzi in crypto, especially. But if meme coins are considered collectibles, then congratulations. You've completed the set and paid the market price. Perhaps the coin is the product, a ticket to the thrill ride of the chance of a lottery win. But those who have become the collector or paid for by the theme park tickets are unhappy customers. Why? Eventually, someone will become a bag holder, community member, exit liquidity, or whatever you want to call it. Turns out these things aren't worth the entry fee. Yes, you can raise capital from launching the token using a fair launch method, but current information asymmetry suggests this ain't the case anymore. High FTV, low flow FC coins means much of the value was captured in the private markets, which drove the fair launch revolution. This has now been swapped out for sophisticated informed parties committing on-chain obliteration against their typical retail who've been sold a fair launch ideology. The sooner we get back to fundamental value creation with products that consumers actually get value from and are willing to pay for, the better. It's clear that this either needs more regulation or better systems, processes, controls in place to enable an actual fair launch of clarity over what the product is, so the playing field is leveled somewhat. Otherwise, 99% of participants will leave with a sour taste once again. Yeah, meme coins, extreme gambling. Look at the charts here. Everything's just so down. Like, even if it was a fair launch and there was no insiders, yeah, it's probably a bit easier for retail. But the fact is that a lot of these tokens are insider games, man. And I hope one day retail learns and we can stop selling the other good coins to chase these. But I don't know if that'll be going away anytime soon. Let's look at the next tweet. two types of token launches I stay away from: hype plays, highly publicized CC dogs. These are launch everyone sees coming. The best snipers in the game are prepped. Liquidity is dense but ruthless, and execution is a bloodbath. To win big, you need either elite domain experience or patience, capital, conviction. And most traders underestimate how tough these plays are. The hype attracts both retail and top tier operators, making a zero game sum when weaker hands get rinsed fat. And then two, repeat plays, weaker dares. These are copycat plays, and liquidity draws, PTC riders, and insiders get sharper, improving their execution speed and extraction, become greedier if you cycle. The first launch catches people off guard, creating the biggest opportunity. Every repetition puts history in people's minds, capping upside and setting psychological ceilings. Traders feel like they're undersized the first time, so they size up to compensate, and earn the fact that risk is now exponentially higher. Greed and tilt take over. They're chasing what they missed before, not realizing they're walking into a sharper, faster, more predatory game. Free money only exists in the initial unexpected plays when no one realizes what's possible yet. When the pattern is established, it says table where the fish get eaten faster. Yeah, so these two plays, he likes to avoid the hype plays and the repeat plays. I mean, you can try to play them if you're early, but I think the dares can work sometimes, but currently in this market conditions, it's just not really the best. But let's look at this where these phone calls are legitimately scripted. I can see right through it. They're bad actors, honestly. Yeah, some more insider shit about Libra. So let's just watch this where...
So bad, so bad.
Lost money too. Fucking Pierce and Top both lost money. It feels so bad. Top's down like fucking. My manager's down like 20 G's. Feels like everybody lost money on this. I round trip, bro. I was up like fucking 300. I got in really, really early. I was up like 300K, and fucking luckily.
Yeah, it's just disgusting because they are insiders on all of these tokens, and he's on stream on this, right, and they're talking to the phase banks guys. They obviously have a cabal behind these meme coins so they can make money, right? But he's like yapping about how he got in so early, essentially exposing himself as an insider, and then thread guy's like, oh shit, wait, he's revealing too much, so he mutes the mic, and then he also covers his mouth and he's like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, he's basically like, it's just a nasty game, bro. But let's look at this word. Max pain is 99% of you blow up your entire stack in the shitcoin casino because you acquired incurable gambling addictions and have no mental filter for content intent right now. Before Bitcoin rockets at 250K, taking entire space 3-5x of it. Sideline for the real golden bull will cause most to walk away for good. I don't know about 250K. 150K is more reasonable. But yeah, a lot of people were right before the parabolic phase, and a lot of people were blowing themselves up with either by chasing leverage and getting blown up in this ranging market, or they are gambling on the casino here. And as you guys can know, most people are losing money on this. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Right now, not really the best time to be trenching, in my opinion. Probably better times to be researching, reading, doing other shit IRL. If you want to have some fun, sure, touch some grass. But it's really not the best time to be trenching, in my own opinion, currently. Like, you can definitely try, but I don't think there's not many people making money off this. It's just so PvP. It's so desperate right now. So right now, what you would do, dollar cost average into good projects, I would say look at base memes and AI tokens. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, and I'll see you guys.